So welcome everybody to another episode of the Brewmasters Clubcast. Here is what you have to look forward to in tonight's episode.
I've been letting a few things get a little out of hand lately, evidently, with my emails, and I need to cut back on a few because...
Emails? What are you, eating them?
Well, no, I have 5 emails. I have like 4 or 5 email addresses.
Oh, wow, 5 emails. Dude, clear your schedule, man. That'll take all tomorrow.
Did you not see the text I sent? Probably not.
I think that got caught up with my emaes.
It was a text message, but that's fine.
Boy.
Rage in the doghouse.
In their shit house, Shaggy.
Got an outro.
Raggy?
Was this before my "Would you let your best friend shoot you in the leg for $10 million"?
Yes, it was. It was several hours ago.
Ryan, I would have shot you for way less, by the way.
And 3, 2. Hold on.
Spaghetti.
Right. Look at the color on that. Wait, you can't really see it. Hold on.
I mean, I don't really see color, dude. It's 2019.
You went down a YouTube rabbit hole while we were talking about the game?
Oh my god.
I really did.
Okay, you've got 5 okay.
Second.
But wait, no.
He's got 5 seconds.
No, that's why I go back and I listen to the podcast. What is Anthem?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
That's it. I'm done. That's it.
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
I didn't get a review of that.
No, you did. We're done.
You didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are done for this evening.
You crazy mother.
Welcome, craft beer. My name is Donnie, and this is the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club here, Craft Brews and Geek News, where we talk about national stories, local flavors, and our favorite geeky nuggets of pop culture. Boys, how are you this evening? Of course, I am joined by Mr. Lausman. How are you?
Doing pretty good doing pretty good.
Okay. And Mr. Rye Guy, how are you?
Feeling frisky.
Whoa, all right. You came to the wrong podcast.
That's definitely a different show.
Frisky with the brewski. I was trying to make that rhyme. Didn't really come out.
No, it didn't rhyme, and it's not that kind of show.
All right. Well, nope. We'll just go right past that one. So we'd started off with the cold opener there, talking about Shaggy from Scooby-Doo going Super Instinct Saiyan. What is it, Ryan?
It's Ultra Instinct, and you don't have to be Saiyan to do it.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh.
And a few other housekeeping things. So, boys, welcome. Thank you for joining this evening. And we are going to get right into it. We always start off our famous segment here, our show with a famous segment. What are you drinking? What are you going to drink? Mr. Lausman, I'm hoping you brought something real special. And if I know you, why don't you go ahead and kick us off so Mr. Rye Guy can get a taste of what you're dealing with.
So I have the Resilience IPA. I have it. It's still bottle. I've not opened it up or anything. I waited until just right now. Apparently, according to your recommendation, today is the very first day that it can be drank. So
that is true. That is very true.
Wait until now. We've got good sound. We got the audio clip on that one, but taking a sniff for doodles. Yeah, can you just copy one of those in there? But no, got good sound on it. I'm pouring it as we speak. So this is your Resilience IPA. I'm very excited about it. I'm not the first one, right?
No, I actually tried the first one on Sunday because the in-laws that were here for Christmas actually helped me brew that towards the end of last year. So yeah, it's been roasting. It's fully ready to go. It's ready to go. So you should have a good experience with it. But let's see.
So it does smell interesting. It smells a little bit darker than I would have thought it would have turned out.
And that's how Ryan's was too. Ryan, yours was a little bit darker than I anticipated it being. But if you look at any other pictures of any of the Resilience, Paradise is pretty vocal about theirs here locally. It's very dark. It's darker than you would assume it was. It's not an Amberbock or a stout or anything, but it's darker than you would have guessed.
Right. Yeah, it is darker than I would have guessed. And it actually tastes it as well. but it's actually overall really, really nice.
It's not a torpedo. I was trying to
Yeah.
when I got to taste it at Brew with Ryan when I was tasting Ryan's version. I was fully anticipating Sierra Nevada torpedo, and it is not that. It is maltier. It's not sweet, but it's definitely a hoppy malt forward beer. Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, no, it is. It's got a good caramelistic finish to it. It's got a good malty caramelly finish to it, but it's also very bitter with a hint of pine too. I feel like this is a very earthy IPA, more so than what we're used to seeing, and I think that plays true to the name for what it represents.
I actually, this is going to sound real weird to anybody who's an experienced beer drinker or cicerone and whatnot, but it smells like a yogurt when you first open it. Like you first open a yogurt, it smells just like that. Nobody on that one.
I don't know if that's a compliment. That might not be a good sign.
It's a good thing. I mean, it's kind of got like a hearty smell to it. So
It's aromatic. Is it earthy?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
yeah, we'll call it earthy. Sure. It's just got a yogurt smell, and it's a good smell.
Well,
Oh.
show's over.
Yeah. Call it
That's-
a wrap.
No, that's-
last we use the word yogurty.
Yeah, that's all right. I didn't describe it as yogurty, but then again, it depends. You know, yours you could have a different set of flavors in yours. Again, this is all craft beer; they're all bottled independently. So I liked it when I tried mine. I liked yours, Ryan, too. I think when you get to try mine, Ryan, at Craft Life, you'll probably notice a little difference. The only difference I noticed in mine is that yours drank more like a maltier, almost Bach beer, and mine drinks a little bit more like a brown almost. And I don't know what that is. It was just the difference in how we brewed it. But that's the beauty of craft brewing, and that's why they call it craft, because it is just that. It's everybody does it a little differently. So, Lost Man, I'm glad to get to try it. That was the first time you've tried one of our home brewers on the cast here.
That is correct. I think actually one time we did a live cast and I got to try one, but other than that, yep.
That was the Spartan kick, I think.
That was,
Feels like it was that long ago.
That was literally
Yeah,
a
long
year
time.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and I think I still have one or two in the fridge, which
Ooh.
they might not be good.
I mean, it's all craft, right, Donnie? It's all
Yeah,
craft.
just drink it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fine.
what they say. It's
There's
all
alcohol
craft.
in there. Just don't drink the yeast at the bottom.
Yeah, well, I know that first one was pretty heavy on the sediment, but no, since then I think we've both gotten pretty good at it. I know that none of mine, have much of any kind of residual yeast in the bottles, and I know that Ryan, yours get better every time. So
Well, appreciate that, my friend.
yeah, so it's good. So Ryan, guy, what? Thank you, Losman, for that opinion and description. Ryan, guy, what are you drinking?
Well, I come slightly ill prepared. In that I forgot
Me
today
too,
was
brother.
Tuesday.
Oh,
But
jeez.
no, I do still have plenty, if not 4 gallons, probably 3 gallons. Wait, if not 3 gallons, probably 4 gallons. I meant to say it that way. Of my Mishap Belgium Abbey. And why I say mishap, it's because, as I told you guys a couple weeks ago, as I brewed it, I didn't realize that I forgot to put the Saaz and Tetneg hops into my brew for the Belgium Abbey that I brewed for a second time. Instead, I put 2 ounces of Cascade in for 60 minutes. Anybody knows the alpha acid for Cascade is 13%. It's very bitter. Kind of takes away the Belgium part to the beer, but for some reason, the recipe that I have is pretty good, and you still get some of that, but with a more earthy tone to it. So very pleased with the drinkability of the beer, even though it's not what I intended, and I'll probably never brew it again, but it's not terrible. So that's what I'll leave you guys with on that one.
No, that's great. And mine, I brewed a Belgium too, which I don't think either of you have tried. No, you guys, Laos Man, you tried it at Dane's house. Remember the Belgian I brought over? And that one was
I did.
that was fantastic.
That was actually really good.
I
it was
I love that Belgian.
You opened it as saying, "This is the Belgian that's been in my closet," and I said, "Well, you better let him out."
Yes, that's very true. Yeah, he's been trapped in there for a while, and I still got a couple, and I'm gonna bring those to Craft Life
wait.
as well. Yeah, I'm gonna bring those to Craft Life, which we'll get into here in a second. Well, that's good, Ryan. I mean, I know that you didn't intend on that Belgian coming out that way, but so is the cookie crumbles, my man.
Out of 5, I give it maybe a 2.7 to 3, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm not being too hard on myself when I say that it's still a very good drinkable beer. It's just not what I wanted. So
I'm with you, and I probably give my Resilience a 3.5, but my Belgian I give a 4 on the 4 side because I really did like that beer. It's not a lipstick on a zombie pig. That was probably my 5 out of 5 when it was in its prime. I still have a bottle of that too, and I'm a little scared to open it because it's probably not gonna be very good. But yeah, but that was good. That's one of those that I would brew and bring to a party for people to try because it was delicious. But we'll see. The beer I brought this evening was a beer for the Super Bowl. If you guys don't know, the Super Bowl is freaking this weekend. So,
that's right. Is that the Sam Adams?
Yeah, this is Sam 76.
I love that beer. That's my new favorite beer.
It's the Sam 76, and it's not my favorite beer, but I say that. But in between what it is, it's a combination of an ale and a lager, and I don't really know what they did, but the description is a perfect union between an ale and a lager, giving you the craft beer flavor of an ale and the freshman and crisp finish of a lager. I think it is an interesting beer. If I was going to drink this or a Bud Light at, say, a party, I would definitely go for this. Ryan, again. So at a party, I would drink this over anything else because it's just a good, refreshing beer. It's a great Super Bowl beer, which is exactly what they had it on sale at Publix. Ryan, to your point, I went I went to a Publix and they had on the cases of these things. They said, "Listen, we labeled this wrong in the weekly ad, so
yes,
we're gonna give it to you guys. Buy one get one, $9 or whatever, $9.99 a 6-pack." I was like, great. This was the only one they had left. So I brought it up and I was like, all right, Ryan told me this is what they do. I bring it up, customer service, they'll give you a free coupon for another case or another pack of it. In addition, they gave me an additional coupon for another buy one, get one. So potentially I can get 4 6-packs of this for the price of 2, which is just 2 BOGOs, right? But it's nice. It's just a nice thing to do. You're getting, 4 or you're getting 48 or do the math here, Donnie. 24 beers for the price of 12, which is fantastic. And though they didn't have it, I can go back and pick it up anytime.
So I volunteered to meet you at Publix within the next couple of days because I had one of those left in my kegerator outside, and I come home today and Ashley had drank half of it. So severely disappointed. That's probably one of my, I was telling her, I was like, that's one of my new favorite beers. And I feel like it's the milder version of the summer ale, but more of like an anytime beer. That's, again, probably one of my more favorite beers right now.
It certainly is an anytime beer, and I can't wait for the summertime. I hope that this is easy to find, just because it is a really good drinking beer. Like I even like the Boston Lager. I mean, I'll drink the Boston Lager at the beach. I really do like it, just their standard Sammy. But Sam 76 is really pretty good.
It's delicious.
Well, the fact that they blend an ale and I want to learn more about that because I'm a little confused on how that works, but I want to figure that out because I think it's very interesting. So,
what do you mean?
They blend an ale and a lager to make this beer. They blend the two together.
It's just the yeast.
But how? Are they finished beers when they blend them? Are they not finished when they blend them? I don't know.
I'm assuming by good reference.
Well, you know what happens when
not
you
using.
assume.
Well, no. They
You're
probably,
an ass, Ryan. You're an ass.
They probably log
You make
it
an
first,
ass
and then
out of you, mate.
Okay.
I don't get it though.
I would assume they use a lager yeast first because it all depends on the yeast. That's how you get your flavor, and then they add in a ale yeast later. That's what I would assume.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's just really
No, but that's where the flavor profile comes from, is the style of yeast that you use. If you want to brew a Belgian, I could brew a stout with stout ingredients, but use an ale yeast on one batch and use a Belgium yeast on another, and they'd be 2 completely different beers, but both be similar in makeup. So they had to have used 2 different types of yeast on that beer.
Well,
That's
I don't
what I'm
know.
trying to say.
Yeah. No, I mean that makes sense.
I'm going
too.
to call them right now. I'll put them on speaker.
Yeah, call them right now.
Okay.
Don't actually do that. But
I will.
I know you did that once, but don't do that again.
I'll
Don't
put
do
them on
that.
speaker. I'll say, hey, I'm on a podcast right now. Need to know.
They're not gonna. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's not typically received
But
well.
It's the only way to get the style is and the flavor profile is by the yeast at the same time. So
Okay. Well, I don't know that. So, but if that's what you say, I believe you. I just want to learn more about it because I think
if
it's
I'm
very
wrong,
interesting.
I'll brew a beer and I'll give everything away
All right.
Deal.
to you guys.
To us. Okay,
Yep,
that sounds
deal.
good.
I already cordoned off my half.
Hey.
So,
Hey, speaking of giving things away, we are going to be giving away some beer at Florida Craft Beer Day. Are you guys excited at all for this? February 15th.
Hell yeah.
at
course
Florida
I
Craft,
am.
Florida Craft Beer Day. We're actually celebrating at Craft Life this year, which is great. Last year for Florida Craft Beer Day at Brew, and it was a big, I had a really good time at Brew last year for Florida Craft Beer Day. I thought it was an informative session. I thought people were there were engaged and talking about it and had a good time. I know there was a lot of people. There's at least a few hands and heads that were asking questions, nodding, and I know our good buddy Mike from the Facebook group was there. So those who are in the group, if you're local to Tampa, please do nod your head and wave your hand like Laos is doing right now. But do join us for Florida Craft Beer Day on February 15th this year. The doors will be opening before 7, but we will go on stage at about 7 o'clock p.m. If you're not able to make it to Craft Life here in Land O'Lakes, 8 p.m., we're doing a simultoast. So seriously, wherever you're at on the 15th, Friday, it's a great day to drink some craft beer. Just raise a glass at 8 p.m. And say, here's to Florida craft beer, because that's all we're trying to do. It's a great holiday. Again, Mayor Bob Buckhorn, in his last year, in his final term, gave us the good graces again to bless us with another Florida Craft Beer Day. So we love you, Bob. We love you, Bobby B. Bob Buckhorn, the greatest mayor that this state has ever seen. And we're gonna have a good time. So again, Friday, February 15th, 7 p.m. at Craft Life Brewing in Land O'Lakes. I gotta find the address. You don't happen to know that, do you, Ryan?
It is just past 54 on 41. And
That's an address.
That's a gauge right there. Craft
Life.
Life.
It's 2624 Land O'Lakes Boulevard, Land O'Lakes, Florida 34639. It is literally, like Ryan said, it is just past 54. It's just past 54 on 41. On the right-hand side, you can't miss the sign. It says Craft Life Brewing. And if you follow them on Facebook or you follow us on Facebook, you'll see our event there for February 15th. You really can't miss it. It's going to be a blast.
I was going to say, if you go past the McDonald's, it'll be on the right-hand side. If you hit either the storage unit or, Donnie, what's that other brewery out there? Gosh.
Oh, In the Loop.
In the Loop, you've gone too far. Turn around, come back.
Turn around. Loop that shit right around here. Yeah. You know what's...
Don't be afraid to stop off at Texaco for some ice and some beer for after.
Texaco? What the hell is
it? Isn't it a Texaco out there? The gas station?
There's no Texacos around anymore.
Is it 1985?
No, it's a big Texaco gas station on the left hand. That's what it used to be when I used to go out to Land O'Lakes all the time. What is it now? I thought it was still Texaco. Racetrack.
Racetrack is more relevant than Texaco.
What's the one that you're right by your house?
It might as well be Dino Oil. What is it at Animal Kingdom?
I don't know. Look, if you see a really big gas station on the left-hand side, you've gone too far. Just
look, it's a really small brewery that's very easy to find.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Just go on 41 North, cross over 54, and you'll see it on your right-hand side. Jeebus. You're welcome, Craft Life, for the shining spotlight on your brewery.
That's all we need. Actually, we need a bat light outside. But it says Craft Life instead of bat light. It's Craft Life.
Yeah, a couple of digits and a word. We would have had this all nipped in the bud.
I know.
About 20 minutes ago.
Oh, I bet Tim would totally go for that. By the way,
speaking
of Craft Life, a Craft Life bat light. That would be so awesome.
But speaking
of logo,
speaking of digits, on Facebook they actually are ranked 4.9 out of 5, which is incredible. And on Beer Advocate, they're 4.1 out of 5. So Tim's running a top 80%. Man, that's pretty good. That's actually very impressive for how small and how lack of distribution and how he's running a 10-gallon system for every batch he makes.
No, 50.
50. Okay. Hefty.
He makes amazing beer. That's why
he does. He makes great beer, and that's obviously it's been recognized. I've never looked it up before, but when I googled it, both Facebook reviews and the Beer Advocate came up. So good for Tim, man. I love that guy. He's great.
He just brewed a black IPA today too, so I'm hoping to try that on Florida Craft Beer Day. Can't wait.
Yeah, well, I'll be buying all of his beers, but to that earlier segue, because I am the segue king, we're going to bring in a bunch of ours. I've got a Belgian. I've got the Resilience IPA, which we've talked a lot about, but we're going to be giving it all away for free in tiny samples so that you can still buy a beer at the bar. But a Belgian Resilience IPA, and I'm going to have a Sriracha Ace saison as well. So I decided not to go with the coconut rum saison for this first run because I want to brew it once and see how it is. Then I'm going to brew it again. I have two of the same batches for this, so I'm going to brew it immediately after, and also do that one with the coconut rum. So it should be very interesting. But yeah, so it should be a great time, and please join us, for the evening. So again, February 15th, Florida Craft Beer Day. If you can't participate at all, just simply use the hashtag or track along with the hashtag FLCBD. I believe it's Florida Craft Beer Day. FLCBD. Yeah, that's it.
CBD, got it.
Yeah, CBD. That hashtag, actually, just thinking about it, that's going to be taken sometime soon when CBD starts to engulf the state.
It's already on its way, Donnie.
It is on its way. Ryan, speaking of segues, did you know in our next segment here at Beer, we're going to have to flip through these very quickly, but just to round out the beer section, I have a couple of cool craft beers that are coming, one of which by Sierra Brewing Company, not Sierra Nevada, Sierra with a C, actually has a THC-infused Belgian-style white ale that's launching mid-December. It's a 10-ounce serving. It's only served and sold in Denver, Colorado, by that brewery, O'Fallon Brewing, out of St. Louis. It's a collaboration, actually, between Sleeping Giant Brewing of Denver and O'Fallon Brewing of St. Louis, Missouri. So very interesting. But each one of those 10-ounce beers will have a 5 milligram dose of THC, which, to my knowledge, I know this is a thing that's happening, but to my knowledge, this is the first quote-unquote mainstream, THC beer that I've really heard of. So
wait, it's a non-alcoholic beer with 5 milligrams of THC.
Well, what they didn't include the alcohol percentage, but all they said was that it was a THC grain wave infused Belgian style white ale. I'm guessing, Ryan, to your point, that probably it doesn't have alcohol. Actually, no, yeah, you're right. It's non-alcoholic. You're right. I see it here in the notes. Well, interesting though.
But it's almost like they're dabbling in it, but they're too afraid to go all in.
Well, how more all in could you get? I mean, I think that is pretty much it. It would be very interesting to see what people think of it. I have no idea, and it's probably not for me, but interesting.
I mean, yeah, but is it really a beer at that point?
Mm-hmm.
It might be all right. I mean, I'm actually pretty excited about this. I feel like this could be the next form of edibles. It could be the next.
Yeah, but to Ryan's point, though, a beer, if you talk about the old Belgian law, it has 4 ingredients: water, hops, yeast, and barley, and that's it. So
yeah, but this isn't Oktoberfest, man.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But to Ryan's point, is it a beer? I mean, a Four Loko is not a beer; it's a malt liquor. A Colt 45 is not a beer; it's a malt liquor. It may taste like beer, but it's not beer; it's malt liquor. So, to Ryan's point, is this a beer or is it malt liquor, or is it some other classification? I don't know.
I mean, at this point, I'd rather try the Lagunitas. There was a hop flavored water with infusion of THC at that point.
I've not heard of that one, but
I had it at Sir Gus's a couple weeks ago, and it is an amazing thirst quencher, but you still get your hops, so there's no alcohol in it at all. It's just literally hop flavored water, and it kind of actually did the trick. If you like IPAs, it's right there, but no alcohol. But that infused with THC would probably sound more up my alley if I did that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that's the innovation that all this stuff, medicinal, recreational, whatever, kind of can bring out of it. We were joking about CBD. We were joking about CBD, but I'm telling you, boys, you walk into a 7-Eleven here in the next 6 months, and you're going to be able to buy breath mint strips that have 5-10 milligrams of CBD in it because of the relaxation, properties and stuff that as that becomes legal and becomes more widespread, which it already is. It's just not as widespread as it could be. More and more of this stuff will come in. There'll be THC and CBD coffee. There'll be, all sorts of different stuff. It's just the wave of the future. But from a mass market perspective, I thought this was an interesting one. But please, like I said, we've got to go fast. So
it very much is. No, and I'm not taking away from that. I just wanted to know, is it still beer? That's all.
I agree. I don't know. I'm not the one to make that call, but we'd have to,
drink one of those, then drink a beer, then drink one of those, then drink a beer. You're good.
Then pass out.
Tell me about it. Sounds good to me.
At that point, you'll be ready to go home.
There's a few other things. So first off, and again, these are not in any kind of order here. Miller Coors testing at a Mick Ultra competitor. It's a craft beer health-inspired lager that's got 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's exactly the same as Mick Ultra. So I'd love to hear what the Saint Archer Gold, when it comes out and when it hits shelves, I'd love to try that out just to see, even though it's made by Miller Coors, they're going after the active health conscious 22 to 44, same exact demographic as Mick Ultra. My wife happens to love that beer, so I will definitely be trying it just to see. The next one was a Flamingo Dreams Nitro, which was a nitro beer, but it's a blonde ale with raspberry and black currant, and it sounds incredible. And it's about a 4.7, which is exactly the same as my Sam 676 here. You boys stop me if you need to.
Well, I was just going to say, are they putting a ingredients list on any of these beers?
I mean, that one had a description. The Flamingo Dreams had an actual description to it, but not the Saint Archer.
No, I meant like a nutrition fact sheet like Bud Light's doing on all their...
I'm sure that's going to hit the shelves too with any mainstream beer. I don't know if craft's really going to be affected by it immediately, but I'm sure it will come. I guarantee that will come.
Just had to put that out there with all these calories and grams, these gram counters here.
Yeah, well, I totally agree. I know it's happening, so I wouldn't be surprised. The last two we have on here, Heineken 0.0, because you know how much you love drinking Heineken. Now you can drink it and not get drunk, but still look like a douchebag. It's really not for me. That's all I have to say. If you want to drink 70 calories and not get drunk and still have a Heineken, yeah, good on you.
You want Heineken 0.0? No, I'll have a water.
Yeah, thanks. I'd rather have a water at that point.
Jesus.
I only like drinking Heineken when I was literally in the factory or in Amsterdam. That was the best Heineken I've ever had. All 12 of them. But since then, it's not been the same. We talked about this. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say, I feel like the rest of the world might be on board with that because, I mean, I went to Walmart the other day and they had the Heineken pony keg for I think it was $14. And I was like, that's too many beers for that price. Any rate, you just need to dial that back a little bit.
It's only 5 liters, those little tiny kegs.
I mean, it was their I shouldn't say pony keg, but it was their mini keg.
Yeah,
does 18 beers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 liters. Right. Yeah, $14. Yeah, I mean, whatever. It depends. If you open that bad boy, you got to drink it. So I don't know. Heineken's just not my thing, but that's just me.
If I can't say, if you're that health conscious, which is not, something I'm going to question anybody on, do what's right for you.
Don't question me on that because I swear to you, I'm health conscious. I just don't like it.
Well, if you're, but no, seriously, if you really are that health conscious, vodka has 64 calories. And you can literally get it with a diet cranberry, which has no sugars and no calories and no carbohydrates.
Or LaCroix or Sunny Sparkling.
Or something else.
Like that.
I just don't see the point of a 0.0. I don't see.
But Ryan,
I don't see the point. I'm sorry.
But you're missing it. Do you want to stand on a boat that you can't afford and drink it and not get pulled over? Look like a complete douchebag?
I don't have a boat.
I do.
Yeah,
wait, no. That's why you don't need one. The douchebag has one, and you can just sling on over to his boat.
Sling on some Zephyr Hills water bottles to his way, and he'll be fine.
We're not getting on a pontoon boat. Get out of here with that.
Let's get out of here.
So your only rationale to have a 0.0 or non-alcoholic beverage is so that you can go on a boat?
No, what I'm saying is I don't see the point. Nobody made this much of a stink about O'Doul's. Who cares? It's just an alcohol-free beer.
But okay,
is it for alcoholics or something? That's what I don't understand.
Non-alcoholic beer is for people like my grandfather who have diabetes, and every now and then they'll have a non-alcoholic beer because they like the sensation of a beer, and I get that.
But how does that? I don't know, man. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. But again, it's not for me, and that's fine. I just don't understand.
Then what is our point of talking about? I'm so confused.
I just like the boat comparisons. Can we just get back to those? All I wanted to do was say, I'm not going on that boat.
I wanted to bring it up because I don't know of any other or many other beer manufacturers who in 2019 say, hey, all right, listen, I've got this great idea. People love Heineken. Let's make a non-alcoholic version for all those people that want to drink Heineken but don't want to get drunk. Perfect. I mean, I just don't get it, but that's me.
Is that just so they can sell it to strip clubs that won't serve beer at?
Can they even sell non-alcoholic beer at a strip club?
Yes, I've had O'Doul's. Wait, what?
Oh, boy.
Scratch that from the record, sir. All
I don't
right.
know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see the point.
It is peculiar. Let's just agree that it is peculiar. Okay.
It's just going to take over the shelf space of all the other good craft beers that could be on there.
There we go. Market share, my man. That's the play. It's all about market share. All about the man keeping the little man down.
That's their loss leader. These wait, hold on. That
Could
just
be.
makes sense. This is their loss leader.
Well, and
They'd
if you
rather
look-
fill the shelves with shit so that at the end of the day, you're just like, no, I'll take the True Coors or I'll take True Miller Lite. This is their loss leader. That's
Yeah,
it.
and if you think Heineken is operating in a vacuum without this Miller Coors, without anything else, you're wrong. Because they're absolutely all fighting over shelf space. And if it says Heineken, it will get shelf space over
It will get shelf space.
Ryan's neighborhood brewery.
Oh,
I mean, that's all it
wow.
is. Hence the douchebag move. That's all I'm trying to say.
Motherfuckers.
Anyways, we have 2 more left. Oh,
And
God.
I've had enough beers to say that. So
That's true.
Oh.
We talked about this recently, but this is actually I have a launch date. It's coming here the next month or so. They brewed these in October. These are the 2 Dunkin' Donuts beer and the Wawa coffee beer. So Dunkin' Donuts has a Harpoon Brewery espresso blend coffee, which is coming out for their Dunkin' Coffee Porter, and then Wawa has another one which I did not write down. But it sounded good.
Yep.
I would drink either one of them. I like Dunkin' and I also like Wawa. I probably prefer Wawa, but very exciting stuff. I love it. They're both about 6% alcohol, so good on them, man. And I'm all about these big brands kind of say, hey, let's dip into that shelf space and make a freaking beer. All about it. Don't know the
What?
difference between the two.
Is this what they're doing with all their fluorescent lighting money that they don't have to spend on the word donut? Like,
what?
because they just keep putting. No, they're only putting the word Dunkin' now. Like,
Oh
have you
yeah,
guys not heard
because
of
they
this?
shortened the name.
They shortened it, so now they're probably illuminating, I would say, half
man.
the lights that they used to light. And this has got to be a benefit, I suppose.
It's
Maybe
all
this
about
is correlated.
Shaving that bottom dollar, man. That's all it is.
No,
I
they
think-
shaved several. They shaved the bottom letters off of their
shaving
signage.
shaving those bottom letters off the corporate ramp. That's how you do it, man. You don't know.
Alright, sweet,
You don't know.
Sweet apostrophe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to claim I know.
Well,
But
if you want
I don't
to, they're limited, so grab them while you can.
I would go to Wawa first. I'm not a
Yeah,
fan.
I would too. I would
of
say the same
Dunkin',
thing.
like pronouncing it differently now that they've just added an apostrophe. Like I just kind of feel like pronouncing it Duncan or something like that. Like I'm just not a fan of like having them just be like, oh yeah, we have half a sign now. Why?
Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
Are you watching the Anthem demo that I sent you?
The what?
The Anthem demo?
I didn't stand
That's a
while I
solid
watched it.
no.
Okay.
I'm going to answer for
Turn
Ryan.
the-
on
turn the
behalf of
volume-
Ryan.
Off and just skim through that video real quick.
Wait, what's the anthem of?
It's it's a
Oh
link I sent
boy,
you.
he thinks it's an idea. He doesn't think it's a game.
My Anthem gameplay. Do you see? But just don't have the volume on your phone or mute yourself.
All right, so I'm going to mute myself, grab a beer, and then I'll come back after listening.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing, Wellsman.
Is that before or after you breathe into the mic?
I'm gonna get a beer. All right, regroup
Oh,
in 5.
he burped into it.
regroup in 30
Different.
seconds.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that's what it takes, boys and girls out there. It's just old Uncle Louse right now. I won't see you wrong, but man, oh man, sometimes these boys get some crazy ideas in their head. They're going back now soon. So I only have this for like another minute. I guess I just have like an untapped. And another thing, I'm just going to talk like I had something important going on. And
Oh.
another thing, yeah, he's back now.
Who's here?
Mhm. Yeah, you miss out on all the important stuff, dude.
So for as quickly
No.
as I filled my beer, it's only halfway full.
Dude, I'm more of a glass half full kind of guy, man.
Well, so
myself.
real quick, look at the color on that. Wait, you can't really see it. Hold
I mean, I don't really see color, dude. It's 2019.
on.
Really alienating you, huh? All right.
Check that out.
That's pretty solid. Was it an amber?
It's a Belgium Abbey, Hoppy Abbey.
Hoppy Abbey.
I don't know what it's supposed to be
Never
called.
met her.
Can we call it Little Hoppy Annie? I mean Abby.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good one. Little Hoppy Annie.
Please just flip through the video, mute
All right,
yourself.
all right.
Okay.
Slightly more hate here in
And then
Lakeland.
me and Laos are going
Like,
to
it's
carry
all
when you
sudden reason.
So the last two we had, of course, there's a bunch of beers coming out from Rogue Ales. But Laos, man, before we suck up all the time here, I wanted to get your initial thoughts on the Anthem VIP demo. I know we've had a lot of discussion about this game. It's basically Destiny with Iron Man suits. I think we're both well aware of that. And I actually got a chance through some supporters of the show, friends of the show on Reddit that actually supported us and through a demo for promo code for those who had pre-ordered the game, or if you have the EA subscription service, you actually got access to a really stellar Anthem demo that I'm about to review here in a hot second. But I was able to shoot about 40 minutes or so of footage in the 2.5 hours that I played the game. So I'll let you think about that for a second while I ask Lausman, what'd you think of the footage before I get into my actual review?
Very interesting. I mean, when you say it had a little bit of Destiny 2 in it, that's an understatement in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of Destiny 2 style, just sort of, it's in your face, it is what it is, just go for it type of deal, but it has the open world that a lot of other games really, really try for. So I will give them that from what I've seen so far. Just sort of blasting off, setting ahead, and just going for it. That's actually really solid. It almost looks like they added fun parts to Mass Effect 3 that were just not in the game originally, because of, obviously, it's an older gen and whatnot. But yeah, no, it actually looked really good. It looked part just sort of exploring, part battling, part just looked like a lot of fun. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole viewing of it, in my opinion.
Well, like I said, so I actually recorded about 45 minutes and I played the game for about 2.5 hours. And I would say the other, hour 15 that I was sitting there was broken loading screens, laggy gameplay, unplayable menus, frozen shit, crap that made me have to literally exit back out the PS4 menu, close the application, and then restart the game. Luckily, in the demo, if you were actually mid-expedition, you could jump right back into it, but you lost all your loot, all your gear, all the guys you were playing with, the status of what you were playing at, and you had to basically restart. So BioWare officially acknowledged all that was wrong, and hence, a pre-order demo, but don't pretend like that was a VIP special treat for you and me. It literally made it unplayable when you're sitting there gunning down bad guys, and then you had to wait 1.5 minutes to 1:45 seconds before you realized that 90%, 95% bar was not going any further, and you had to literally close your game and start the whole thing over. So the demo was frustrating, extremely frustrating.
I was about to say that's weird because we labeled that video as a VIP demo.
That's what it was. It was a VIP demo, and that was how it was marketed. If you pre-ordered the game or you subscribed to the EA service, you actually got access to that, which made it very much a VIP thing. What it really was beta, theta, alpha, test, whatever you want to say. It looked like the first time that any amount of players were able to actually hop online at the same time. And for what it was worth, when it was playable, it was exactly what you saw in the gameplay footage. The map was condensed. The features weren't there. You couldn't upgrade crap. You couldn't even buy a new Javelin, which is what they call their mech suits, their Iron Man suits, until you hit level 12. And even then, sometimes it bugged out and wouldn't allow you to buy it anyways. By the end of the 3-day demo, BioWare actually just gave everybody all 4 suits so you could just play with them. But by then, there was 3 hours left in the demo, and it was basically useless. So all of the glitchy, buggy demo things aside, if you look in that demo video that I sent, and again, that's Craft Brews and Geek News on YouTube. I went to a certain altitude to try to test the limits, and it was obviously hit a ceiling, but it gets so cloudy you can't see, and your guy basically just falls out of the sky. So in the few minutes that I was able to put online that actually were able to save, record, and then upload, there wasn't any of the real heavy missions. But the missions that I did play were a lot of fun. It was like killing scorpions and murdering bugs in like a sewer, objectives, and a lot of the Halo-esque Destiny kind of smashed in there. Very fun stuff. And the fact that you get to fly around like Iron Man, incredible. There's one scene, I think it's like a few minutes into the footage that I saved, and he bends down and there's a tactical rocket launcher on his shoulder, and you can see it targets, boom, 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 and then and bam, just this huge explosion. But pretty incredible stuff. So from a gameplay perspective, when you could play it, incredible. I realized it was a demo, but I mean, you saw it, Lost Man. It looks fantastic.
It does look good. It does look actually really good. Again, there's a few things that aren't going to be for me, but there's a few things that I would say are pretty solid overall. If you liked Mass Effect, I mean, this is just my synopsis. If you liked Mass Effect 3 and you like the idea of Iron Man and you like the playability of freaking GTA, this game is right up your alley. I mean, it just sort of goes with all of that.
And I was never a Destiny guy, never. But Chet loved it. And what I didn't like about Destiny, first off, I didn't like how linear the story was, as in you had to go to X and you had to then go to Y. And when you were at Y, you had to go down this damn tunnel and find this thing and turn back around and come back. I didn't like that at all. And I think there's going to be essence of that in this game, obviously. But and again, the demo did not do a great job of showing this, but if it is as open world as they say it is, where you can literally fly around, and I stopped at one point on a waterfall and looked out over the horizon, and it seemed to have gone on forever. And there was a town and a mountain and a lake and a snowy peak, and I was like, man, I want to go there. And as soon as I tried, it loaded me back up and threw me back into the actual demo territory. So we'll see, man. But again, it was a demo, and that was the VIP demo that was from January 25th to January 27th. So last weekend. Again, thank you to our buddy on Reddit there for the code. But the actual playable open demo is coming on February 2nd, which is technically Saturday. So if you want to catch a feel for it, if you want to see what you're getting into, Craft Brews and Geek News on YouTube or Facebook. Check us out there. We'll blast the footage out there and just get a sneak peek at what the actual game will be, and then try it for yourself on the 2nd, because BioWare is swearing that they will have all these bugs, or as many as they can, fixed by then. And then the game itself officially launches on the 22nd of February. So I don't know. You think you might get it, Lausman?
I mean, are you trying to tell me that a game developer releases an alpha and or beta and then says that they'll fix everything by the time they launch?
I mean, I don't see that happening either, but
I don't get it. I just don't understand that logic. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Will I get it? That's a totally different question that's irrelevant to most, but quite pertinent to me. I mean, I don't know. I like the idea. They kind of took... In the rare snippet that I saw, they kind of sort of took all my favorite parts of Mass Effect 3 and they really just adopted it into an open world. And that might be the hook. That might be what gets me.
Now you keep saying Mass Effect 3. Have you played Andromeda?
I did not play Andromeda. I played Mass Effect 3. But Mass Effect 3, like that over the shoulder, that sort of look, that sort of feel to it.
The sexy, wet texture. Yeah. I got you.
I probably wouldn't use those words together, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much exactly it. I mean, it just had a good feel. Like, it was a good playing game. Over the shoulder, kind of shooter, beat 'em up, whatnot, for what the online was for Mass Effect 3. It was solid, but it just wasn't, it wasn't ahead of itself. It was what it was. It was an arcade style multiplayer shooter.
Let me ask you one thing. So in the limited time that you have played, and I say limited because I know you haven't played as much, thousand or hundreds of hours or anything, but from your Destiny playtime, and let me explain how I feel about this, and then I'll ask you your opinion, but there was something unique the first time that you boot up Destiny and you go to play a mission, and there's a dude or a couple dudes and ladies, 2019, I guess it wasn't then, but you see a group of players. Well, you see a group of players that are already combating a boss or a bad guy, and you just go, all right, let's do this. And you jump in and you're trying to shoot, this angle and that angle, disable shields, throw grenades, whatever. There was something special about that, but at the same time, there's something that took me away from the game, knowing that, if I die right now, or if I just fuck off and go somewhere else in the world, these guys are going to fight this bad guy, and I'm just not. There was something truly like, I can just walk up and there's already like heated battle going on. Like, I literally am walking into this world, which again, the world is incredible. It's basically Pandora versus, whatever Destiny was, but it is an incredible looking world. But again, when you walk up to that for the first time and there's dudes flying around and there's a couple different classes of javelins, there's like an indestructible Hulkbuster, there's like a elemental and whatever. So that's always fun. because you're walking up on these guys that are in the heat of battle. But there is something about it that then takes me out of it, because if I just, again, buzz off, what happens?
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. So a game I'd like to reference in the complete opposite light of that was a game that you actually fell in love with very, very late in the series. There, Mercenaries. Mercenaries on the old Xbox. It didn't have any sort of the multiplayer, it didn't have any sort of connectivity or anything like that. But like, you would romp and stop and take out bad guys, and you would do all your things, and then just nothing happened. And it was like, all right. Like, I mean, cool. Like, I just moved on with my life. Like, that's all I had. So, I mean, it's sort of on the same wavelength, but it's sort of different. I mean, you sort of, like you said, you know, you see all this big battle going on, and you say, okay, cool, I'm not gonna do anything to do with this. Like, it sounds crazy. I don't want to die. Like, I'm gonna leave, and so you just leave. But the same thing with Mercenaries. Like, you would just like do your thing, come back, and everyone would be like, oh, cool, you did that, done, we're good, let's move on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No one would even care.
Well, and I also feel like, you know, some of the same things, the tropes of the Destiny. Again, I think Destiny's the closest reference to it, because of the way the story unfolds and the way the gameplay is, and the battle and the non-stop multiplayer aspect of it all rings Destiny. But the Iron Man flare is definitely something that's very interesting. But again, you know, that communal loading screen or the lobby area, again, you know, that's kind of irritating, because it's stupid, and I get it. From the few minutes that I did play, it served quite a purpose, because you had to go into the world, retrieve something, come back, bring it back, load that, find out what that guy does. Oh, one of these guys, you know, buzzed off to the bar, go find him there, then ask him some questions, then go back into the world and verify what he said. So like, I get while that world is there. I do not think, again, to your point, Lossman, with Destiny, I think it was wasted. I think it was more of an annoyance than anything else. I feel that in this game, if they expanded as broadly and as bigly, right, if that's a word, as they're saying they're going to, I think that it could have the potential to be very fun. And I think that would be excellent if they could say, hey man, it's a huge outside world, and when you're here in the hub world or whatever it is, that's also big, and there's also a lot to do. They made it certainly seem that way, even in the demo, more so than the extra world outside. But I know that was a gripe of yours with specifically Destiny.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, at some point, ooh, this is going to be bad. But at some point, what do you not, where do you not say, take the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, where he was on a Mars?
Total Recall?
Total Recall.
Yes.
At some point, where do you stop saying, like, okay, have that open world, have that honest communication, and then cut it all off? Like, I feel like video games are doing that. Like, and that's,
you mean the hub world, or what are you saying? What are you saying? Like boundaries, or are you saying the hub world?
Like, they all got to Mars, right? Like, and then they couldn't go outside, and I was like, what the like, what is that? So, like, you know, bring them all to the same, like, honest, cool, like, extraterrestrial style, like, you know, open that up. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's sort of the platform that they should, like, adopt, like, to get to the weird place and then be able to expand upon it. Like, don't shut it off right there. Like, it's really messed up.
I think there's obviously some challenges trying to bridge that. Okay, you're in a mission, and there was free play. There was free play options too, which I showed some of that. Yeah, I showed some of that, because there was, you could just play just running around outside without being in a mission. But I think what I was getting at is that there's obviously some sort of dependency that you have to have this communal space for you and Ryan and whoever to meet up, and they're trying to make the most of it by adding story to that, which is what only makes sense. And I think you should do that. Just that, in fact.
It makes sense to a point. I don't know. I won't fight it back and forth, but, you know.
Yeah, I just know you hate that.
Give the space, give the opportunity for a weird ass adventure, and I'm in. Like, I mean, that's what I'm in for.
No, I'm in. I love weird ass. Let's do it.
No, I'm talking about an adventure. We confirm right here, 2019, 10:20 p.m. Ryan fell asleep on the podcast. It's very weird.
It's weird that I came back in when Donnie said firm ass. I just
weird ass.
That's when he came back in. That was like a solid minute or two ago.
Butcher's ass.
Not firm ass, weird ass.
No, it's got to be the butcher's ass.
The butcher's ass.
Yeah,
right.
That's a popular one at work.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Good morning.
It was amazing.
Did you really fall asleep?
No.
No, he was looking at the trailer.
Nah,
He was watching the
Yeah,
I'm
gameplay.
messing with it.
When I
I was
said
mesmerized by
when
your video.
I was about to say, when I asked you to watch the gameplay footage, I did not mean watch the entire 11 or 14-minute cut of it. I just meant like skim through it.
He also didn't
I
mean
watched that.
memorize
I
all
watched
the words.
the guy from Barstool. He does the one bite app.
From Garfield?
He's pretty cool, actually. He got thrown out of the NFL thing the other night, and then he was on TV. It was kind of cool.
You went down a YouTube rabbit hole while we were talking about the game.
Oh my god!
I really
Can
did.
you? Okay, you've got 5 minutes.
But-
Okay,
but-
Second.
But wait, no,
He's got 5
no,
seconds.
no. That's why I go back and I listen to the podcast, because the things I miss, I hear when I listen to it.
that's good. What were your
What?
thoughts of the? Are you like, I just brushed right over that? It's like,
Yeah,
Ryan,
I don't
please.
like that, but that's fine.
I'm gonna cut a lot of this out. What was Ryan? What was your take on the gameplay footage?
I thought it was awesome.
God,
Or would you just rather us see like the end of the game and then just sort of speculate on how
I said I was
all
gonna
went down?
cut a lot out. I can just cut all of Ryan's.
Wait, gameplay? No, all I
Yeah,
had
you
in
might-
video was like for the intro with the Starship Trooper stuff, and no.
Starship Troopers. Is that what you're saying right now? Are those
So
the
you're-
words you're
Ryan, you're telling me that you didn't watch any of the gameplay footage.
Yo, I can't lie. I went to 610 before like I ever came home today. For, like,
Oh my god!
So
Are you whispering
know,
for us? Is
I
this
made-
what you're doing?
I made good friends with the new Bartow Brewing people. So
Stop
but-
ruining the audio,
if-
please.
If you're whispering for us, you're doing it wrong because we can both hear you
is that better?
as loud.
No, it's not. It's not better.
You know what? Actually, Donnie, stop. Donnie, stop. It's better. Ryan's better.
I made friends with the Bartow Brewing Company.
Continue talking like that, please.
I can't. What video was I supposed
Is
to
it too loud?
What video was I supposed to watch? That's
Oh my god!
Dude,
No video. We
I
are
don't
done.
know.
Nope, it's over. That's it. That's the cast. We're good. Me, don't worry. Me and Laos. If you're back getting sore, Laos.
It really is, man.
I'm
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
it's
No,
carry-
there was a video with
it's just been
the
carrying the
Crap
team right here.
thing. It was
Like when I
thing.
carry the team right here all by myself, it just hurts so
All by
bad, man.
yourself.
But
All by
it's all
yourself.
right.
Hey.
I got some Tiger Bomb.
Yeah, well, you
I
got
mean,
the
I was there.
Tiger Bomb. I'm sorry. Are you dropping acid right now? Like, what's happening?
No, Tiger Bomb is actually really good for your back if it's sore.
Oh,
Okay.
Tiger Bomb.
And that was Ryan's
Cool.
review of Anthem on PS4, coming out February 26th. Thank you, Ryan.
What is Anthem?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
That's it. I'm done. That's it.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
more.
we're done.
We're done.
We're
I
done.
didn't get a review of that.
No, you did. We're done.
You didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are done for this evening.
Oh, this is all I got. It was the video.
Ryan,
That's
thank you.
What,
Thank you, Ryan.
What did you even watch? Did you just watch like the stanky?
He told us.
leg?
I'll rewind the tape. He told us what he watched. We're good. Mr. Lousman, where can
Right.
the good kids find you?
At Mr. Lustman. Jeebus.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Broodboy 813. Where can the good kids find you?
You can find me on the corner drinking some non-alcoholic Heineken because that's where my future needs to go.
That's like a reverse
Obviously.
hobo. It's like a reverse. It's like a
I
backwards
don't know.
hobo.
No, Broodboy813 on the Instagram, and
That's your anthem.
yes,
I noticed that you were going. You were looking at an 11-minute clip, a bit longer than 11 minutes, and I was like, maybe we should say something, but maybe he can't hear us right now.
nobody said, "Hey Ryan, what are you doing?" I was just letting Last Man finish his synopsis of Anthem, evidently, because I didn't know what it was.
We reviewed
And
the
while
national
you're-
anthem.
You didn't weigh in at all on the freaking the Russian part.
When
You
do
didn't
I
say anything.
All right, so Ryan, I'm sorry. Once more, where can the good kids find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Broodboy813. Plus, also hit up our Facebook page, the Craft Brews and Geek News Facebook page, if you will, and come join us for some more discussion on some fun topics.
Like Anthem, we appreciate that, Ryan.
Yeah.
We will post.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, we just talked about it for about 15 minutes, but we'll
Let's
post a link.
maintain the fact that he has no idea what it is. Let's see how long we can go with this, and just see. Ryan, don't actually Google it. We're gonna see how far we can take this. Like,
No, I don't.
let's see if we can bring Ryan into the 22nd century.
I don't condone that.
I'm gonna watch the or listen to the podcast. That's how I'm gonna find out about Anthem.
Are you?
Well, I also texted it to you a little bit ago. But anyways, you can find me on YouTube or the Facebook group. Both are Craft Brews and Geek News. Please do look us up there. And again, as we plugged a couple times, the Facebook group is a lot of fun. People there have great conversation. I think a couple members there post a beer every week or every weekend or every other couple days, and it's just nice to talk to folks that are listening and contributing to the show and want to learn more about craft beer and just want to contribute. So it's a great group. We hope to see you there. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at Brewmasters Club. We do appreciate you guys tuning into the show. And I think Ryan finally found the link. Therefore, he gets to say what we say at the end of every episode.
The fuck is Anthem?
Oh, my God. You're the worst. The worst.
Do we want to try this again?
No. We are done. We are done. Good night, everybody.
So what is Anthem?
God damn it.
You know what?
You've been listening to the official podcast of the Brewmasters Club, Craft Brews and Geek News. Grab a beer with the guys and be sure to subscribe to catch additional content. Add this podcast to your favorite RSS feed or iTunes. Chat with the guys on Twitter at Brewmasters Club and Facebook and online at www.brewmasters.club. Cheers!